go ahead and get started. We got a lot to cover. So first and foremost, I'm so blessed because not only is Lisa Harris my best friend, but she's also, I call her a realtor and trainer extraordinaire. I will tell you, she's shown me things that I did not know were possible. I think I know quite a bit about a Paragon, but when it comes to Lisa, I would say she's one of the best ever. She knows all the inside secrets. She's showed me a lot of searching tips that have made it a lot easier for me to find exactly what I'm looking for. And so thank you so much, Lisa, for being on the show today and showing everybody else all the great stuff that you've shown me.
Thanks, Colleen. Thank you for inviting me. And of course, I've learned a lot from you over the years, and you've done an amazing job as a trainer. It's been great working with you all these years, and I can't wait to be in the classroom with you again and with other agents. Looking forward to that, hopefully soon.
I missed that. I know Debbie's done a great job of scheduling so many classes. We were going over how many we did. And then, you know, we are now posting this class as well as all of our classes on our YouTube channel. So if you go to MiRealSource Media, you can hit the subscribe button and you can see any of our classes 24 hours a day. You can see all, believe it or not, this is the 21st Mixing It Up. It's hard to believe we've done 21 of these already. So, but you can see all of the Mixing It Ups there. You can also see the remote and paperless if you're looking to really take your business to the next level, not using any paper, but sending things out using e-signatures and transactional files, promoting your listings, all of that's there, as well as even how to schedule, you know, virtual open houses and virtual property showings. So we've got so much great content there. But Lisa, I know you're going to show us a lot of cool stuff. For anybody who doesn't know Lisa, I think most everyone in the industry does. Lisa, how long have you been a realtor?
I just hit my 31-year anniversary, so just a little while, not too long.
You were licensed when you were 2, right?
Yes, absolutely. Can't you tell?
And you have a funny story about too how long you were going to help out with MiRealSource, because I know you've been a trainer with us for a long time. How long have you been training with MiRealSource?
Going on 11 years. So just a little while. It was only supposed to be a 6-month job when Dave originally interviewed me. So yeah, still here. He must like me, I guess.
And I don't think he's ever letting you go. So it's you're good. It was a 6-month job, and now you're just here forever. So, but
that's a good thing.
Lisa, tell us a little bit about some of the cool and exciting things that you're going to show today.
Okay, well, we're going to go into Paragon. I've got a couple of shortcuts to show you in there. One of the things I want to show is the new property link, inventory links, where you can go directly in there and it takes you into your listing, and then you can take that into Facebook or wherever you want to share it. So that's also great. Cloud CMA Live, if anyone hasn't used that yet, it's the new presentation mode, but it's a lot more integrations in it. It's a great feature. So I absolutely love that. And there's a couple of things in searching that I absolutely love using that I'm not sure everyone is aware of. So I just wanted to show those also.
Great. I'm going to send this presenter key over to you. So you're going to see that pop up on your screen in just a second. If you haven't, if you're not really familiar with GoToWebinar, we encourage you, we want to do kind of an interactive thing today. So we encourage you to put your questions in the questions box. It may be minimized at the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a little red arrow. If you open up that box, you will see a questions panel. And this is where we encourage you to ask any questions. So if Lisa goes over something and you need to see it again, or you have a question about a particular item that she's showing, don't hesitate to put it in the questions box. As Debbie mentioned, she's going to be manning those questions, and she'll ask the question to the group, and that way, you know, we can go ahead and cover everything. We want you to get a lot out of it, and really, the whole idea of today's show is that giving yourself the gift of time, how to do things more efficiently, streamlining your workflow so that you have more time, which is what we all need this holiday season. So, all right, take it away, Lisa.
Okay. Can you see my screen, Colleen?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off in Paragon. So one of my new favorite features, which I believe we had this earlier this year, is under search. When you go into your search residential condo, I have those clients on the weekends that decide to drive around and call me with 20 different addresses. And of course, most of them are either sold out of their price range or something they're not looking for. So I love this new feature that we have. And let's see, it's just taking a second to load here. Just to load. And this is going to allow you to search all of those properties much faster. So before we were using our multiple address, where you would actually type in one address and then you would add it, then type another and add it. Now this full address toolbar right here, you can type in the full address and continue adding them one after another. So I'm going to add in a couple properties here. So let's do my wretched. And you just hit enter. So very simple. It's not taking you to another screen. And then you can add in whatever other property you want to add in here. So let's add in a couple others. You can do with names. 1 second here. I'm just going to pull a couple properties real quick. So I have some addresses here. Thank you.
You want me to read you a couple? Would that be easier?
Yeah, could you please? I meant to write them down and get a chance to. Please, just throw me a couple different addresses.
All right. How about 37098 Camelot? CAMELOT.
Got it.
And how about 13171 Plumbrook?
Perfect. Thank you. I just want to have a few in here. Wonderful. So once you have your addresses in, now you have the option of just pulling those and seeing everything that's listed, whether it was expired or it's a new listing, or you can go under your status and I can put in there all active. Typically, I search my actives, and most likely these are pending most of the time if my client's driving around looking at them and they didn't get them in their email notification I send, or they could be closed properties. So, whichever they might be, but you can go ahead and set it up that way. Again, you have your status, you can put it in, or you don't have to. So once you get your search, it's now going to pull those. So of course, I didn't put a time frame on my close, so it's going to pull all the close. And once it's load,
so if you have a buyer who potentially called you with 5 or 6 addresses, you don't have to do 5 or 6 separate searches any longer. So you can actually just put them right in there. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So now I can find my properties right from here. So again, it's a huge time saver, and it's just right in your criteria. Once you hit search residential condo, you go down and you should find your full address toolbar right here. And you just go ahead and keep typing them and add them in. So this is one of my favorite features. So this I use all the time. So the other thing I want to show you is—
Lisa, one more quick thing on that. So if it's a drive or a circle or a way, it has that built-in wildcard behind it automatically, right? So it will pull whether it's a way, a circle, a drive. I don't have to add anything additional.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a nice thing. If you look here, like Camelot, it's Camelot Drive, number 50. I didn't put any of the information in. I just put the address in and it pulled it for me. It's another key thing, because a lot of times that you would put in the address, if you didn't have exactly the way it is, whether the drive, the lane, it wouldn't find it. So again, this is such a great search tool.
That's great. Yeah, that certainly helps when they call you with 5 addresses they found on, a site like Realtor.com or something like that, and you don't want to have to do 5 separate searches. Very cool.
Exactly. Absolutely love this feature. So the other feature I want to show you is searching by remarks. So a lot of times I will run a search. Maybe I'm looking for finished basement, for example. Unfortunately, not every agent puts in every feature, but you can still search those features because most likely that feature is in their public remarks. So if they haven't actually selected them when they inputted the listing, the public remarks has it somewhere in there. They're highlighting all the great things about the home. So in order to find those items, I'm going to remove my addresses here real quick. I'm going to go into my customized fields, because most likely you don't have the remarks already set up in your search criteria. And in this find here at the top, you can go ahead and put remarks. Now mine's been added already, but there's agent remarks. But if you look at my page, I already have my public remarks in here. And there's also word search. So these 2 items are great searching tools. Once you put those in, you will have those in your search criteria box toward the bottom. And now I can search something. So for example, finished basement. If I type in finished basement, and because it's going to pull a lot of properties, this is counting here, I'm probably going to get quite a bit. We probably want to add an area in here, and that way it will break it down a little bit so we don't have so many showing up. So let's go Macomb Township. There we go. And that might help with the search. And let's get rid of our closed properties, because again, that's going to pull for years back. So let's see if that helps. So we have 90. So it has now found 90 properties in public remarks that has finished basement, for example. Word search is the same thing. You can also search by word search, but that is going to pull from all the listings. So it's not just the public remarks it's searching. It will search also from other areas within the listing itself. So if I want to look for a certain word here, so for example, finished basement, let's see if we have this in here. We're gonna field selection here. Here's my basements. There it is. Okay, so this is going to show basement, yes or no is one. These are already preset for you. So you're basically going to find the field and type in what you're looking for. So if I go into remarks in here, it also will give you an option for that too. Let's see.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the word search also will do, it's not as great as, like I said, the remarks, but so I can type in, for example, let's see if it'll find it.
And so that will search the whole listing page, not just the remarks. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's supposed to search all of it. So we're gonna put basement in here too. And it's supposed to search all of it. So let's see if it's gonna work for me here. And it may not with the word search. Nope, it's not pulling them for me. So I think with the 2 in here, I might be counteracting it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not working the way I thought it was going to work with this one, because I think with the 2 options here, it's not. So honestly, the public remarks is going to be the best way for them to search it. The word search is not pulling the way it was.
When you took one out, yeah, you got the 16,000. So it did. It was kind of counteracting what you had in there.
Exactly. So public remarks is the best way. Age remarks is also another way to search it, but I find that most agents have more in your public remarks than they do age remarks. But if there's something specific that may not be noted in the public remarks, you might find that in the age remarks. Maybe there's something specific about the house that they aren't advertising it out there, but something that, some type of work needs to be done. They may not have put it in the actual public remarks. So again, the remarks are a great way to search.
Awesome.
So that is my other favorite one. So those are my 2 that I do love searching with. So I do want to show you though is the showing card is the other thing I want to take you into. So when I'm pulling these listings, usually I have multiple that I'm showing at the same time. So I hate doing the old style where I put in all the properties, pull one by one, schedule showing, go to the next, schedule showing, and on and on. My favorite tool is the showing card. And I'm sure a lot of people are using it, but if you're not, I just want to kind of give you a quick view of it. So let's just pull some properties real quick here in Macomb Township. And let's just put a price on this. And let's see. Okay, and let's pull some actives here. So once you have the properties and you select them, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab a couple of these real quick here. You have a shortcut to take it into showing card. Okay, so if you look up here, you have your action. And if you go down toward the bottom, you have showing time, at the very bottom. And then you're going to have an option to select your showing card. So when you get to this page, it's going to show all my information. And you have an option here to add to showing card. So I can create a new one. Or if I've started one already, I can add to the one that's pre-existing. So I'm going to create a new showing card. Select next. And what it's doing is whatever properties I've selected, it's pulling it right into my showing time. I'm going to select which day I'm doing my showing. So let's say tomorrow. And I'm going to add my buyer. Now, when you add your buyer, the only person that sees the buyer's names are you. No one else is seeing this information. So go ahead and add a new one if you don't have them in here already. First and last name is all you need. Mr. Buyer. And we're going to save it. And you can, again, put in more information if you'd like, but I'm going to create it with just that. And I'm going to select OK. So now it's going to pull those properties in for me. And to me, one of the best features is if you scroll down a little bit further here is the map. So I remember the old days, I had the book and I had to go through and try to figure out which house I should go to first and then take it to the next one and write down my directions. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to figure out which one to start off at. It actually throws the map here for you. You can select this smart route and it will actually reroute it for you in a great order. If you don't like this order, you can do it yourself. You can scroll back to the top. You can see these are all numbered. So maybe I want to go the opposite way. Maybe I want to start at the south end first, so I can go this way first and hit update right above it. So once I hit my update, now it has started them from the south side, moving up north. Once I have all these in here, now I can take a look at the timing. Now here's the great feature too. Everything that's black is blacked out. So that means those times are not available. So if I look at these, I can see, is there any reason why I can't get in? Obviously with COVID, we're limited to one appointment per time. So you're not allowed to have multiple agents showing at the same time. So sometimes you'll see these are going to be highlighted in gray in different areas. So now you can look at it and say, well, you know what, I can start off this way, or because of timing, I may need to start in a different order. You can either click on them right from here. So say I want to start at 9 a.m. here. It opens up my first one. Showing, the time, my agency type, and I just hit save. And then I continue to add them one after another. The other great thing is it shows you how far they are from each other. So I can see this is only a mile away. It's going to take me 3 minutes. So I can include my driving time as I'm figuring out my timing for my showings. If you see something that says this, my appointment status, typically these need to be called or they have another way of scheduling. So if you do see this, I usually will at least put in the requested, and I will go ahead and call, or if they have a different area that I need to go in to schedule, sometimes they're a different online area that you schedule, it's not through showing time, then you would go ahead and just do that. Once you have that confirmed, I can come back in here and put confirmed. So I still have all that information in the order that I've got these properties, and I know has this been confirmed or not. And in the very end, when I'm done, I'm going to actually print these, and it's going to show you all of the order. It will show you all of your showing instructions. It will show you a map, which I absolutely love too. I'm going to take you right there right now to show you. So this is the agent version. There is a buyer's version, which I love too. You can set that up for your client. But you can see here are the properties. It will tell you if it's been requested, confirmed. It will give you lockbox code and instructions. So I like having this with me. So it just makes it so much easier.
You know what's nice about, what is nice about that too, Lisa, is if you're going to a place that maybe doesn't have really good cell phone coverage, like there's a couple spots up in Port Huron that you're very close to the water, and sometimes it's hard to get a cell reception on your phone. It's nice to have this as a printed version backup, because you're right, it does print the lockbox codes for you in a nice little thumbnail, so you have everything all on one sheet. So yeah, I really, really do like that.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Lisa?
It is. Yes.
Would you show that search part one more time?
Sure. Which one did they want to see in search?
Oh, just right at the very beginning on how you enter in those particular addresses or search for the multiples.
Yes, the multiple addresses, absolutely. So if you go under where it says full addresses, it's going to be under your search. So I just went up to search residential condo, and I scroll down to full addresses. And everyone should have that. I believe it's been added correct as a default.
We added it to their quick search, and I think it's in there, but toward the bottom. If you don't see it, you can always add it. If they customized their search already, I don't think they'll see it unless they go back in and customize it. I don't think if they customized it, I don't think it went automatically.
Okay, yeah. So if you don't find it, you have customized fields. It's just right at the top here, customized fields. And then you can go ahead and look for it right in here again. You can just type it in here and put full, and it will find it for you. Again, mine's already in here, so it's not going to find it, but it is here on this side. Once you find it, you have the ad, and then you can also apply and save as the default. So that way it's there for you every time. Okay, and then you just type it in. So I can put in my address, and I can fetch it. And then you just continue adding one after another. So that's your full address.
And then could you go, I think Kim had a question on how did you start your showing time cards? I think you just went to Market Monitor and picked a few. Could you show that starting process again?
Absolutely. So all I did was I was in my criteria. I'm going to actually just pull, I had Macomb Township in here. So let me just type in Macomb Township. I just pulled an area and just pulled some actives in there and just selected what I want. So I'm going to pull Macomb Township, here they are. So you just check mark the ones you want to use, or if you already have, it's everything in here, you can select the top one here and it selects them all for you. But as you select them, you have your shortcut right here in the center under Actions. So if you go to Actions, Showing Time.
I call it the easy button. I love that action link.
Oh, I do too. It has so many great shortcuts in there. So under here where it says add to showing cart, you can, so I've already have one, so I can go ahead and add it to my tour here or create a new one. And again, if you're creating a new one or adding it to the same one, just make sure that you have your buyer's name in there. And I'm going to show you another reason why I like including my buyers.
So yeah, you have the best story for that, Lisa.
I'll show you
as an example all the time with that story.
It's a classic, in all these years, there's always something new. It's always some great stories. But again, select your buyer, hit OK, and it's going to drop it in for you. So here's another great one. This is telling you it's accepting backup offers. This one has 2 in there for some reason. I'm not sure why it's showing the 2 listings. I wonder if it was inputted twice in here, but we're going to go ahead and hit one of them. And so watch for those accepting backup offers. I know I've sometimes grabbed them and put them into my showing, then realized after the fact. So if your client's still not interested at that point to see it, you might want to not remove it out
You
of
know,
your
one
list.
of my other favorite things about this too is not only does it tell you how long, like I'm out in Richmond, so sometimes it's 20 minutes from one property to another property, you know, depending on how big your area is that your buyer's looking in. I also like that under the appointment type, it tells you whether it's going to be a go and show, which generally will indicate that it's got a lockbox that you're going to get the code immediately as soon as it's confirmed. So if I am running out of time and I kind of want to stack some at the end, I know I'm not inconveniencing a homeowner, and I'm, you know, now got my go and shows kind of scheduled appropriately. But I like that it tells you whether it's an appointment required or it's a go and show. So if you're trying to figure out if you're going to run out of time, you know, trying to stack them in the front or stack them in the beginning. And I do like that it does tell you how long your drive time is going to be, so you can set your showing window appropriately. That's a big help. Like obviously I don't want to schedule them really close together if it's a 30-minute drive time. So that's really cool to know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, you know, you can see the grayed out section. So this one, there's no appointments till after 11. So then I might have to reorder these, or maybe this one won't work, you know, during this time because they're limited till 10 or whatever their time it might be. But so many great features in here. So again, this is a great tool. So
Before you leave, Lisa, will you scroll down just a little bit? You don't mind that I'm jumping in here, do you?
No, not at all. No, please do.
I love that turn-by-turn directions too, so that you can send that over to a buyer. You know, so many times our buyers will say, okay, if you're showing 4 houses, well, which house are we starting with? What's house number 2? What's house number 3? How nice that you can actually send them turn-by-turn directions that will tell them, okay, this is house 1, this is house 2, and they have the directions so they know exactly how to get there. I really like that.
Right. And yeah, and you don't have to just print. You do have an email option here in the top right corner. So I showed you the print view, but there is email. So I can email this to my client and give them all the directions and all the information so then they're ready to go.
That is so nice. And I always get the crazy buyers. So, you know, and I always get the buy, like I'll set up my whole cart and I'll get my, you know, 7 showings or whatever it happens to be. And then they'll call and say, hey, Colleen, as I'm walking out the door, I found 2 more houses on Zillow. And you're thinking, okay, I've already set my cart. So I love the fact that you can go to add a listing and you can literally add additional listings into your cart. And so you're not, you know, trying to reschedule and, you know, now, you know, edit your cart. You can basically just add 2 more to the end of your tour just by going add another listing stop. There's also next to that add another stop, and that's if you're taking them to a restaurant. Like let's say Lisa does a lot of relocation. Let's say she's taking them to Big Boy in between house 3 and house 4. You can actually add in a location and it will route them there as well, so they know where that lunch spot is. So I think it's very cool.
Absolutely, you know, a lot of great features in here. So definitely use your showing card. So the reason another reason why I really love the showing card, I'm going to show you right now, is adding those buyers will allow you to see what you've shown those buyers. So if you go back into Paragon, is there anything else, Colleen, before I leave showing time, is there anything I missed or anything else?
No, that's good.
Okay, that's good. Perfect. So go back into Paragon. Let's go under our resources and let's go directly into showing time from here. And
Lisa,
you actually have
the perfect one to show this too with your story.
So I love this. So honestly, until I looked at this, I had no idea. I did not realize that I had gone through so many. So under contacts, every buyer that you add in is in your contacts here on the left side. So you select your contacts, and here's my clients. And it's going to pull your clients. Oops. Okay, so here are all my buyers. So my favorite one that Colleen's talking about is this Jim and Donna. Absolutely love them. Spent about 9-10 months with them. 97 showings. Now, one thing keep in mind with your showings is it does show everything. So if I, like, for example, a couple of these were declined or canceled, those are also included in your number. But
so just so everyone knows, she literally did show 97 properties to this couple, which I actually made her show me because I'm like, get out.
Yes. So again, this is a great tool. So if you're not sure, so the problem with showing them so many houses is that I was showing them the same house more than once because I had no idea. I'm thinking, did we see this already? So now after that point, and I realized that I came in here and I could actually go in and say, wait a minute, did we look at this house already? So I could go through my list. And not only did we see 97 houses, we also went to new construction and probably met with 20 different builders. So it was a process. They found the house that they loved, ended up in the other side of town, not what they wanted. They ended up in Clarkston. They were looking at Shelby Township. They wanted new construction. They ended up with a house that was already built. So what buyers tell you in the beginning may not always what they end up with in the end. So, but this is a great tool. Again, love this, and all my clients are in here. So I add every single one, and I can come back and review whatever it is that, I've shown them, or, I have a couple here that they're up to 71. So, I mean, it's interesting. So yeah, so definitely use that showing card. And again, it's just selecting the listings in that action tool right here and going down to showing time. And that'll take you in and walk you through the steps. Okay. Anything I missed, Colleen, before I leave showing time?
No, I think that's really cool though.
Did we get all the questions answered for the most part?
Let me double check. I think we did. Let me just check real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Debbie's on it.
Good.
Kim says she really likes it, so that's good. Yep, I think we got them all.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's go back into Paragon. I want to show you the new feature. This I love too. I just discovered this not too long ago. So under your social media tab, list track.
Brian just did it like 2 weeks ago, so
that's why I just discovered it. So under social media, typically I go into list track, and there I'll share my listings into Facebook or any social media. But now you've got this property inventory links. When you click on this, it's going to show all your properties. Well, it goes back. Do you know how far back this goes? I'm assuming it's this year, because these are all within probably the last 3 or 4 months for me. Would you say that's about correct?
Yeah, I don't know how far I don't know if he did January 1. That's a good question. I'm going to have to ask him again. It's really new. We just started all playing with it, and I think he did to January 1, but let me verify that. Good question.
I'm just curious if you did. So for example, here's my Campbell. This one just went pending, my listing. So if you select this, it's going to take you right into your list track. So again, it's a shortcut to get to list track, and it just takes you directly into the listing. And from here, you can share it. So here's your Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever way you'd like to share it, you would just go ahead and select it. So if I went to Facebook, I would select it from here. And then you would go ahead and, write in something, give it at least 2 or 3 lines about the property. You don't want to just throw this out there, because if it's right on your Facebook page, they're going to see the house and then see for sale and nothing really to catch their attention. You want to type something in there, just listed, great, great new, family home, finished basement, maybe some of the features. And then once they select it, then they can see the full listing information that you have at this track, just like I do here. So, and the nice thing about this is it's just your contact information. And it's going to give the property, a few more photos, public remarks, property details, all the features are in here, location, and they can actually scan this QR code and get all the information, and they can contact me. So here's my contact form, my information again. So this is a great tool. So I definitely would suggest using this. Great way to push your listings out there. So again, that's just under your it's under your resources, and under social media, one in the center here, third one down, property inventory links. And then you get from here, select it, and that takes you into list track.
Very cool.
All right, so let's go into, I'm going to take you into Cloud next. Actually, before we do that, I want to show you, let's do Realist first while we're in here. So the other tool that I love, especially this time of year, it's a great time to send out mailers. So maybe you want to send out just solds, you want to send out holiday cards. If you go into Realist, and this is a way for you to do these without paying for them, go under taxes, and we're going to go under Realist tax search. And Realist has a lot of great tools. There's a lot of information. We do have an outline for it if you want to walk through it. Hopefully once classes start up again, we'll have some classes on this again. But with Realist, when you come in here, you've got a couple of different ways to search. You have this quick search. I typically don't like using it because it's limited on what you can search by. You have My Search, where you can search a lot more items, and you can also add additional criteria to search by. But your customized search is here at the top. But you can see I've got quite a bit. I mean, owner last name I typically will use. Addresses are in here. I can go by status, whatever it might be, areas, and so forth. So there's a lot here to search by. But when I do my labels, if I'm doing a just sold or just listed, I like to find the property or the area and draw around it. So what I do is I go up here in my little map over here, and we're going to actually find the property. We're going to locate it. So you got these little icons at the top, left here. It says locate on the map. I'm going to select it. You can put a property address. So I'll just put one of my solds in here.
And as Lisa does this, I know we're kind of hopping around to different things. We're going to show you where the cheat sheets are. Lisa actually wrote most of our great cheat sheets. So don't worry if you're not taking detailed notes. We are recording this so you can watch it anytime. But don't worry if you're missing, you know, how did she get from here to here or anything like that. Lisa wrote really easy to read cheat sheets with nice big arrows. She's going to show you how to get to those. So you can actually type in realist labels and it will pop right up and it'll show you step by step. So just in case. I know some people were mentioning, you know, like, how did we get from here to here? Don't worry, we'll leave you with all the cheat sheets today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, once you find the area, so you can see right here, I've got actually the property itself that I sold. I'm going to go into my pencil here. We're going to draw right around it. So I'm going to pick a bunch of these homes right in here. So I want to send out a just sold mailer to all these properties. So I'm going to go ahead and select this area. I love my polygon, so I can do whatever shape. So I can kind of go around in here and right back to where I started. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and hit search. Now, if there's anything specific you want to, so maybe I want to pull something specific in the area, maybe by certain year built, type of property, any of those, you can go ahead and put that information in here. Or maybe I've drawn in I'm close to another city. I can put the area in here, make sure I'm only pulling within the same city. You know, again, any additional criteria you can add here. But I'm going to go ahead and hit my search, and it's going to pull all those homes within that map that I just drew. And it's going to drop them down here for me. So I've got all of these in here. So I have 278 results. I mean, I want to send all these. And the other thing in here, if you look, I have some commercial properties like state of Michigan. I probably don't want to send to these. It automatically selects them for me, but I can just uncheck them, whatever I don't want to include. Maybe my own listing is in here. I don't want to send them a mailer yet. We just closed on it and I don't want to be sending them something right away. So maybe I can remove that, whatever it might be. If you see it's an active property, maybe you don't want to send it to them. So again, just uncheck whatever you don't want to include. And if you look at the bottom of your page here, you've got labels. So once you've got them selected, you select your labels. Select what type of labels. Typically the 5160s, Avery, even if you get an off-brand, this is your typical labels. There's 30 labels to a sheet. And as you scroll down further here, you can use a tax billing address or the property address. Now the reason it's great to use this tax billing, if it is a rental property, then it goes to the owner. It doesn't go to the home because you know that that tenant's going to take that and throw in the garbage. So at least it will go to the owner themselves. And you can also create a custom label. Otherwise, it sets up the label, your typical address label. And once you create this, you are allowed 5,000 labels per month. Now, I don't do 5,000 labels a month. Not many people do, but once you do create them, it does deduct from your label allowance. So create them when you're ready to print them, just so you don't start removing them. And if you are sending a ton of them out, you don't want to get to the point where you have to wait till next month to send out more. But again, 5,000 is a lot of labels. And once you create it, you're all set. So it's that simple. It will print right to your label stock and you're good to go.
That's awesome. So if you're doing an SOI for a neighborhood, that is a great way to do it, to get your holiday maybe marketing out there. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, great farming tool. So again, it's free. You can use this anytime. It's easy to use and you can just draw the map. It's pretty simple. Like I said, you can locate the property address if you want, or just even put an area in and go to the streets that you want and go ahead and select them, draw them in here and hit search and it'll drop them all in here for you. And the labels are right here at the bottom. All right.
Very cool.
Okay, so that is our little Real list. So let's go into Cloud. So then the other feature that we have, which is newer, is our Cloud CMA Live. It actually replaced our presentation mode. So if you've used Cloud CMA, I remember the presentation mode, we always showed it in our classes. So if you look here on my, I've got a couple here that's been done. You've got PDF and live. So again, there's no presentation mode, it's just your live mode here. So I'm gonna walk you through one I've created already, and then I'll show you how you can share it. So let's go into this property right here. So this is one of my listings that went pending already, but for example, I want to do a presentation on this, and you know, I want to run through all the information, the comps and so forth with my client. Maybe it's a pre-listing appointment. So I run my CMA for them, or maybe I'm writing up an offer for a buyer and they want to kind of see what's going on in the area. But I want something that now in our world, we're doing more online, more Zoom meetings and so forth because of COVID. So this will give you an opportunity to actually sit and talk to your client and review something where you can actually draw on it, show more information, and they can watch the screen without being side by side. So a great way to do this.
I love some of these new enhancements in here. They're really cool.
I agree, absolutely. So to get to this again, you're doing Cloud like you normally do. So let me just kind of back up a little bit. You're going into Paragon, you're running a search, finding your comps first. Always run them in Paragon. You're going to get the most accurate comps here. You can narrow them down and get exactly what you need. You're selecting them from here. You're going to that great action link again, and right above showing time, you have Cloud CMA. That's where you want to go. And then that takes you through the 4 steps, and that creates your report. Excuse me. Once it's created, this is what you get. And then I clicked on live, and here we are. So, excuse me. So in here, you've got a customization section right here on the top left. This shows all your pages. If you scroll down a little bit further here, it actually shows you the different sections as well. And in the bottom right corner, which I'm going to show you right now, let me just move my little, sorry, I got to move my little icon page here. So you have this start presentation. So once you select start presentation, it's taking you through all those pages and sections. So the first one is, I've got it in our company, just explains a little bit about our company. And then it gets into your comps. As you look at the comps, you've got your subject property at the first one. And then all of these are listed, and there's an arrow right here in the center. So as I click on these, it actually will load the next one for you. A couple nice features here. This percentage. So for example, on this home on Gerald, the percentage of the square footage, this one's actually 18% lower than the subject property. This one's 12% higher than subject property. I absolutely love this little feature here. This is great information. But as you go through, you can also see what they sold. This one sold 100%, so sold for the list price. This one sold for 114%. It went over asking. So again, some great little features for you. You definitely good things to highlight. As I'm talking to my client and I'm walking through this, you have a pencil. Maybe I want to highlight things for them. So maybe I can click on this, and then I can show them, look, this went over asking. This went over asking, which we know nowadays a lot are going over asking. So this little tool is also great too.
And I like that it highlights like less bathrooms, less square footage. If you scroll up just a little bit, Lisa, you'll see that there are indicators next to square footage. There's 18% less square footage in that comp than there is in your home, or in the next one, it's 12% more. So it also helps you figure out why they're closing for, you know, more money or less money as the comp that you chose.
Absolutely.
Very
And
cool.
if you want to show them more, you can click on the photo. It actually opens up more information about that property for you. And you can scroll through the actual full listing report, basically. All the information's in here, details are in here, and you can view all the interior photos, you know, and go through these in larger view. So this is also a great way. And to go back, you just select this. Now, if you look here in the top right corner, include comps, these are all being included. If I change my mind after I look at this again and say, you know what, this really isn't a good comp, I can just remove this. So this is also a great thing, is that I can actually edit my report while I'm going through it. So let's go back here. And you also have an option here at the top right. So we've got a map view. And you also have your stats in here too. So again, a couple great features to show them too. It takes a second to load, but you can see it's all interactive. That's what I love about this. As you select them, it pulls the information for you here. So again, a lot of great features in this. Pencils here at the bottom.
One thing I love about this map view, Lisa, is that if you're on the phone and let's say they're in a ranch and you've pulled comps for a ranch, and they say, well, Joe Schmagegi on the corner, you know, what is he going for? And maybe you'd include Joe Schmagegi because he is a 2-story. I love that on this map, you can actually pull in comps that you didn't select right through Paragon. So if you pull, let's say Lisa clicks on that 167 there, that might not be in her report, but she can actually choose to add it on the fly. And I love that, because a lot of times, you know, it may not be something that was a comparable, but you need to be able to see it when you're talking to them live. If you click that 167 there, Lisa, I don't know if you included that one or not, but you can actually bring that comp in or not include that comp by selecting that little toggle at the top. And so if you're, you know, doing a live presentation and they're saying, well, you know, you didn't include Sally Sue on the corner. Now, Sally Sue's a 2-story and they're in a ranch, so that's why you didn't include it. But you want to be able to go through the reason that you didn't. And now it doesn't look like you left something off. You're able to pull that right into your report and show them why. I love that.
Yeah, it is. No, it is, like I said, great tool here. And then you've got your next section here is your average pricing. So now you're getting to the statistical information. So now it's going to break it down again. If I select any one of these, it actually opens up the listing for you again. So it gives you more information. So you can always revert back to see more information about the listing without having to go back. Okay, and again, pencil tools down here. So as I'm going through this, I can go ahead and maybe highlight something as we're talking, which is another great feature. So I absolutely love that. And if we go down to the next one, so this is also a great report too, the statistical here. You've got this nice graph, and it's also showing you the average price per square foot. So as here's your property, as you select these, again, it's going to highlight the property itself as we go through these. And you can see compared to what the pricing is. Some are going above, some are, so it's giving your average prices per each one. And then it gives you a little more information, your time to sell. Again,
I love that. That's my favorite one when you if you go back up to the top just a little bit. So it's telling you that here's your average a little bit further. 17 days and they're selling for 101.8% of their list price. That's pretty cool. That's cool to see.
It is. Absolutely. Great time.
I don't know how long we'll see it, so I'm going to enjoy every time I get to see it.
Nope, it's definitely a great time to sell. To buy a little more difficult, but to sell is definitely a great time to sell. So, okay, and then it talks about what is the CMA. So some of the other pages in here are ones that you've probably seen already as you've created these, but some of these links are great too. When they list, if they're listing at market value, how many more clients are they getting through the door compared to if they go, over what the market values are, or compared to, if they go under, obviously they're getting more buyers walking through. And then there's also about me. So these are the customized pages. So you can add your resume in here. I've included our dots flyer, which shows our data sharing, which I absolutely love. Love showing this.
Very cool. What a great thing to put in your CMA is your coverage area. That is very cool.
Yes, I love them seeing this. So I do the customization. Not only do I include this, I always include market stats. Love market stats. It's also another one that's great to include in here too. Yeah. And then they've got the, your market action plan and so forth. So as you're looking at this and you review it before you meet with your client, or you're talking to your client over the phone or send it to them, again, at the top here, if you open this up, you have an option to customize. So if there's something that you just looked at and you don't want to include, you don't have to. If there's something that you missed and you want to add it in, you can. So this customize right here, you just click on it. And anything that has a line through it is not being included. If you see the eye, that means you're seeing it. If you see a line through it, it's not. So if you want to add it back in, you can. But again, here are, so I've got Chesterfield, I've got my monthly indicators and data sharing. These I just added back in, they weren't in there before, and I'll show them to you. But you can remove or add whatever you need. So there are more options, there are more pages. So when you customize and add those in, and I'll show you where to go to add more of these information, this gives you the option to add it to this presentation also, to the live mode, not just your actual PDF. So it's all in here for you too. But once you add those in, you hit done. And I want to just go back through real quick and just show you. I did add in those ones I customized. So here you go. Here's my Chesterfield. And I do need to update this. There's the stats for Chesterfield, because at the time I believe I had a listing for that for Chesterfield I was working on. Here is my stats. This is going to be for all of Paragon. It pulls everything for you. These numbers are amazing when you look at these numbers, especially for a listing, to show them how the listing numbers are. So, and this one actually has multiple pages. It's a great report. And I also like including my listing and sales summary report. So this will break it down by counties, so they can compare and see how the total sales are and average days on market and so forth. So again, customizing in Cloud when you're doing your CMA originally will allow you this option. And once you are ready to send this to your client and you want to review it with them, you can do a Zoom. Since it's a new thing now, the Zoom has become our best friend. Zoom is down here, and you can start your virtual meeting, and you would select start, you would add them in, invite them, and then they can be on here, and you can actually walk through everything with them, use your pencil tool, highlight things, and so forth.
And you can use, what are the options? I think it's Zoom, Skype, Hangout, Screen is the makers of Slack, if you're not familiar. They've added Microsoft Teams. That just came out because that was not available. Yeah, they just added that.
So another great tool. So Cloud CMA has a lot of great features. So again, if you haven't used the live version, try it.
Man, I love that dots map. That's a great idea, Lisa. And it's very cool to add that into your CMA.
Yeah, they're impressed when they see how much coverage area we have. It's amazing. 30 years ago, we didn't have that kind of coverage, so it is amazing. Okay, so in Cloud CMA, I just want to show you real quick how to add those customized pages. So if you go back to your Cloud CMA, and in the top right corner, your photo should be here. If you haven't added your photo, your initials will be here at the top. And there's a custom pages. So if you select custom pages, and once this loads, I can upload anything I want. So have your pages saved on your laptop or your computer. And right here is where you can add them. So you can add what it is, you name it, and then add it in. If you look here at the bottom, I've got all of mine down here. So some of these other ones that I've added are right here. So here's my dots. So what I typically like to do every month, which I didn't update, I need to remove these and I'll add my new month. So I always make sure my full Paragon stats are in here for every month. So they're always in there and I can always include them.
Very cool.
All right, and I think I've covered quite a bit. Is there anything else that you'd like me to show or I missed, Colleen, or anyone's asking to see again?
No, one person would like to see market stats. Can you just maybe quickly touch on market stats for a city, just the fast stats? That would be absolutely awesome.
So there's two ways of getting to market stats. You can go under resources, and market stats are right here under social media. Your second one's market stats. Or you can go directly from a listing, which I do a lot too, is I'll go into my listing itself, open up a listing, and you have a little shortcut in here. Once this opens up, it looks like a little graph. Select this. Now it's going to pull your market stats. It's going to already preset the area for you if you're looking to create your own here. And you have all kinds of options. At the bottom here, you can see of creating type of, whatever type of graphs and stats you'd like to show. You can add more information at the top and customize it more. Fast stats is what I add into Cloud. So if you select fast stats, and this can be done in a minute, it's so easy to do. So my first one's my market updates. You can select your area. So you can go by whatever city, or I can click on the county first and then select the city. So let's say Macomb Township, and it's done. It is now downloaded, and here it is. And let me go ahead and open this up to show you real quick. And that's how quick it is. Again, a minute, you can have it done. Here it is. So here's Macomb.
Look at those stats. Look at inventory down 60%, 59.7%. Look at that average sales price. Wow, amazing, 313 last year, 359 this year. That would make a seller want to move.
Yes, I'm telling you, these are such great tools for listings. You definitely use these when you have an opportunity to, because again, these will show them on paper exactly what it's looking like out there. I mean, they hear about it, and they might see the listings online, but they're really not seeing those numbers, and this will definitely help. So I absolutely love it. So that's one of the reports.
Yeah, I love that how it breaks it down residential versus condo as well.
Yes.
But yeah, 493 listings on the market last year in Macomb County at this, or Macomb Township at this time. And then I think it was 113 this year. So that's amazing. That's absolutely.
No, it is amazing. Sorry, I closed it out faster than now.
No, that's okay.
I was trying to get to the next one. So this is your monthly indicator. This is 14 pages long. So this is going to give them a lot of information, a lot of data. So you have someone, especially engineers, who love the statistical information, they're going to love this report. So this is all of our MLS. So it's pulling all the different areas and breaking it down for them. But you can see, like I said, the new listings. I mean, it's amazing year to date. I mean, the numbers are astounding. Never thought we'd see this. Here's a condo, and it does break it down.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. I'm glad you showed this because it gives me an opportunity to say that at the beginning of the year, we're going to be having a new stats show that is going to be coming out that will give you kind of a breakdown and some insight month by month of what's going on. Kyle Alfred is going to actually be narrating stats and going into a lot more detail of what it means and breaking it down. So I'm really, I sat in on the demo and he just did a fantastic job. I'm really excited about it. So that'll be coming to our members in January. So.
Oh, that's great. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. This is great. These are great tools. Again, really help with listings. But you can see, again, these numbers are just, they're astounding. So that is the monthly. And again, this is pulling all of the entire MiRealSource, everything that MLS that we have, all the data is pulling it for you. Then the monthly data sheet, again, this is another one. This is, I'll show you, also for the entire MLS. And these are the two that I always include and update every month. So they're always in there for me to include in my CMA reports. And here it is. And so this is going to give you for the month. Now these are broken down by counties. So they can see the full MiRealSource and then specific counties, and they can break it down from there. And this is just a 2-page report too. Cool. Really good information. So again, if you add those in, you're going to go into your cloud, and you're going to go to where your little photo is here. You want to go to custom pages, and all you're doing is, because I've downloaded those already to my page, all I'm doing is just uploading them right in here. You're going to name them, add them, and then it's going to allow you to search your actual your computer and pull those in. When you want to remove another question, you can remove them right here. There's a trash. So as I update these monthly, I typically remove the old ones and then add my new ones in. Okay, so I believe, I think I covered everything. Is there anything else, Colleen, you'd like me to show, or anything I missed?
Actually, no, you did an awesome job, but actually, could you show one thing? Could you show them where they can find the cheat sheets?
Yes, absolutely.
So Lisa gave you a whole lot of product tour today, and she did an awesome job. Like I said, every time I watch Lisa, I learn something. So you have always taught me so much, but obviously it's a lot of information because we hopped around to different products. So as I mentioned, Lisa did an outstanding job of creating these great cheat sheets, and Debbie organized them. Debbie did a lot of them as well. And they're really easy to find because they're right in Paragon, and you can print them off. They're simple. We got them from the tech companies, and they were very techie. They didn't sound like agents speak. So thankfully, Lisa redid them, made them short and sweet, big arrows, but show them how to get to those.
Okay, so in Paragon, in the very top right here, you have where it says MLS Documents. You're going to select MLS Documents, and you're going to go to MiRealSource MLS folder, and there's an education folder, and Debbie's got 76 files in here for us. So when you open up MIRS Education, all of these are in here, and Colleen did a lot of these also. Debbie did a lot. I mean, we've all put in, and we try to update as we go too. So any of these can be pulled up. They're broken down by sections. That's the other great thing. You're not going to just find one that's just for Paragon and everything in Paragon. It's broken down to whatever you need to in Paragon, whether it's searching, whether it's about emailing or setting up your signature line, whatever it is, it's in here. So you can select whichever you want to look at. So for example, here's market stats, here's lead gen. If I click on that, it just downloaded a PDF copy for me, and I can open that up. And we included all kinds of great screenshots in here, and it will walk you through. It actually highlights where you need to go to find it and how to get to it.
I like that it made it, I call it blonde friendly for myself, because that's instructions I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, where to click. I love that.
Yeah.
Can't be much simpler than.
Very easy. So again, just in Paragon, look in the top where it says MLS Documents, go to the MiRealSource and the MIRS folder is right here, MIRS Education, and there's 76 in here. So just open that up, and you can just click on whatever you'd like, and that will help you out there.
All right, well, I was going to actually show one thing, but since you already are right there, if I can just walk you through showing it, sure, if you don't mind. If you click on resources, go to your resources, we added something brand new. Our popular support call is when you're setting your clients up in the Collab Center. We probably get 10 of these calls a day. For whatever reason, they get it. Maybe they're not looking for homes right at this moment, and they hit unsubscribe. Now they're not getting the emails, and they call you and they say, well, I'm ready to look again. Now, how do you subscribe them back in? It used to be kind of a difficult process, but I'm happy to say we've made it really easy. Brian has added under where agent services that you see right there, there's My Links. When you click on My Links, there is an opt-in now. So you'll see one of those. I think it's down just a little bit further. You scroll down just a little bit. Keep going, keep going.
I think that's all I have.
It's opt-in, sorry, and your screen's kind of small on mine.
Yeah, let me make it bigger so we can find it here. I've got a bunch of links in here, so it's probably, it's this one. I think it's right here. It's right here. It's just one.
Perfect. So if you click on that, what you're able to do now is you're able to just enter in the email address that accidentally unsubscribed. And then there's a next button at the bottom. And there's very simple instructions for doing so. So if your client calls and they said, oh my gosh, I opted out and now, I can't see those emails. Very easy. Or sometimes we even do it, where I don't want to see those emails right now, and, you inadvertently, and now you're not seeing what you wanted to. You can go right back to your links under resources. You can put in that email address, and within a link will be sent that says to resubscribe. They click on it, and basically now they're opted back in. So it's gotten a lot easier than the previous way that we had to do it. So all you have to do is enter in their email address, hit next. It'll send them a link to confirm, and they'll have 72 hours to go ahead and open up that link to resubscribe. So, all right.
This is great. Wonderful.
Very cool. So we always give away a prize. And so we had some exciting news that we announced on our last Mixing It Up. If you were here, we've also been emailing a lot about it. But we've recently just brought on another MLS. They're going to be joining us in end of February, and so we're very excited. So we keep growing, and we have what we call vendoring MLS services. So they basically come on our platform. It gives our members more data. As we mentioned, our goal is really to have 100% of data sharing through the state. So that means that you can see properties anywhere in Michigan. I remember when I started and got my license 22 years ago, that we had to belong to all these different MLSs. We had to pay MLS fees to 3 or 4 different MLSs. Nothing talked to each other. So you had to put it in one MLS, put all the same information in the next MLS, and then another MLS. And you were paying 3 sets of fees. You forget to mark it pending in one and it was pending in another, and you were getting fines. It was a hot mess. And at least I know you remember those days too. And so I'm happy to say that now we're at 95% of the state that you can see the data in your home MLS platform, meaning you can pay 1 fee, join the MLS that you love, and you can see all the information you need to do your job. And that's one of the things that MiRealSource members get now is right in their home database. They only have to learn 1 MLS, and they can now see all of this data. And we've got a lot of exclusive data sharing that's exclusive to MiRealSource. And I'm happy to say that we give you more MLS data through MiRealSource to its members than any other MLS. So it's getting really exciting. But here is the goal. So I'm going to first show you the prize. Let me kick this back over to me for just a second, and that way I can show you what the prize is. And you're going to go into your questions box and you're going to answer it. The first one who answers it correctly is going to win today's prize. And I'm going to show it to you right now. I thought it was very cute. As I mentioned, Elf is very big in my house right now. And Lisa, can you see my screen?
I can.
All right, so let me move this out of the way so I can see it. Okay. And can you see that?
Yes, now we can. Perfect.
Just make sure here. Okay, so this is the prize today. It is going to be You've Been Elfed cookie basket. And let me read exactly what comes. It's got several different types of cookies within the basket. And it comes in a cute little pail, and there's Oreo cookies. There is, let me get to the bottom here. I'll read you exactly what's in it. There are Oreo cookies, there are sugar cookies, there are frosted cookies, there are cookies with and without nuts. So it's like got a whole bunch of different kinds. But the question is, what is the name of the MLS that is going to be coming on board with us at the end of February? That means you're going to be seeing the data at the end of February. So we just signed a new MLS. We announced it on the last Mixing It Up show. We've also sent out quite a few emails about it. We're very excited to have them joining us. And the question is, what is the name of the MLS that just joined our MLS vendoring services? And let's see if we have any winners yet. All right, we do. We have a winner. Ed actually answered it correct. It is the Claire Gladwin Board of Realtors. So I'm excited to say that the Claire Gladwin Board of Realtors is actually going to be data sharing with us. They're now one of the MLSs that we're going to be vendoring, which means that you will have more coverage. Let me show you kind of what that's going to look like. If you can kind of see that map there. That means that now, as a MiRealSource member, you will have all of this data available right in Paragon. So again, we're pleased to announce that we now have more data than any other MLS. As you can see here, we're shooting for 100%, where you can see listings from coast to coast in Michigan. We're at about 95%, and we're talking to 2 others now, so we just keep growing. So it's getting exciting. We're getting down to the end here. So All right, so we will go ahead and I will get all of Ed's information and we'll go ahead and get that sent out. So congratulations. And for everybody else, I hope you have just a wonderful holiday. Lisa, I cannot thank you enough for all the time-saving tips that you shared and making our jobs easier and easier searching in Paragon. That's all what we're looking for so that we have more time.
Well, thanks for having me.
So yes, we're going to have you back again so I can learn even more.
Absolutely, love to.
All
Everyone
right. Well,
have
thank you, everybody. Have a great holiday season.
Bye,
And we'll see you, remember, the first Thursday at 10 a.m. every month. So we'll see you in January with a productivity real estate coach. So we'll see you
Have a great holiday, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.